So in the transition for the square to square swing, we've already talked about loading our trail leg so that we're supporting a centered axis of rotation. And that's going to kind of lead us into our feelings that we're going to get in the transition. So as I've preset my hands forward, I've got my strong grip, my trail leg's loaded, and I make my turn to the top, I'm going to have a couple of things that I'm going to feel. One, I'm going to feel that my right knee, or my trail knee, is in the same position, or almost in the exact same position as it was in at address. So as I set and make my turn, because I've loaded that right side and supported it, my right knee, or my trail knee, is not going to shift back over the outside part of my foot. Now it may move slightly back, but it's not going to move that direction. And the reason it might move slightly back is because as I make my turn, my hips and shoulders are going to be turning as well. So when I make my turn, my right knee might shift just slightly back and it might straighten just a little bit. And the feelings I'm going to get at the top are, with my hips, I'm going to feel that my right hip is a little bit higher than my left hip. Again, because I've tilted my shoulders and I've kept a centered axis of rotation, my right hip's going to tend to just feel like it's risen a little bit. My right shoulder's going to feel higher, my right hip's going to feel higher, and I'm basically going to feel like my whole right side is a little bit up at the top of the backswing. The other thing that we're going to look at in the transition is my head position. So as I'm going back, because that right side's braced, I want to be aware of the fact that my head isn't shifting back this way. And that just goes in, again, to keeping our centered axis of rotation, and that's all set up by supporting this trail leg. So you can see how important loading that trail leg is from address all the way through to the transition. So from here I'm set, I make my turn, and because I've supported this turn with my trail leg, my head isn't going to shift off the ball. Now, we've seen in a lot of really good ball strikers, we've seen the head do anything from stay completely level or stay at the exact height that it was at address, to also in the backswing coming down just slightly. And then even in the through swing, we sometimes see the head drop even lower. So the level of the head is not a finite thing. It can stay the same, it could drop a little bit. The thing we're more concerned with is whether or not the head is shifting off the ball or it's staying, like as we want it in the square to square swing, we want it to stay very neutral. So that's true with an iron and with a wood or a driver. When I'm set up, I'm loading this trail leg, I'm making my turn, that trail knee is going to stay in nearly its same position as it was in an address. The right hip's still going to feel a little bit high with the driver. Not going to feel as high with an iron because obviously we haven't tilted as much. My right shoulder, or my trail shoulder, is going to feel a little higher, and my head is going to stay basically in the exact same position it was in at address. And then when we start talking about the through swing, we'll see what all of these moves do as we're coming into the ball.